have a nice day, my dear students. I am back with the English class. Last week, we had been studying about the lesson Tubby the Fat Cat. Let's continue. As we know that Andy was a smart, young and energetic boy, but he never felt it necessary to sleep in time. His parents always told him about why to sleep early and why to get up early, but he never understood it. When the matter was discussed with Grandpa Peter, he said, Tubby, my fat cat will find out a solution for this problem. As a result, Tubby was taken to Andy's family, but that night also, it was same like the previous day. Andy did not sleep even after 10 o'clock. So, Andy's father just murmured, whispered. Grandpa said that Tubby would help him. But nothing happens. But something happened that day. Let us look into the text, page number 35, last portion. Hours later, Andy finally decided to go to bed. What a surprise when he entered the bedroom. What was the surprise there? Can you guess? Tubby was spread out on the bed. You learned the meaning spread in the lesson of Robin Redbreast. Spread in the sense open out, kept open. Tubby was spread out on the bed in the sense Tubby was sleeping on the bed with his legs apart, hands apart, and Tubby was on the bed using the majority space of the bed, occupying the largest portion of the bed. Tubby was on the bed. We know that Tubby was a fat cat. In fact, Andy could not find a space for him on the bed. There was no space for Andy to sleep on the bed. So Andy tried to push him. But he could not move Tubby at least an inch because Tubby was a fat cat. Andy tried to shift Tubby, but he could not move him, not even an inch. Night, Andy hardly slept. You know why? One thing is that there was no space enough. The second reason was Tubby was snoring loudly. Do you snore while sleeping? Do you have that habit? Or have you heard someone snoring? We cannot sleep when someone is snoring beside us. It's a kind of disturbance. That night, Andy hardly slept. You see the word hardly. Hardly is a word that gives us a negative meaning. Hardly means not at all. There is hardly 1 month left for the examination, means there is not even 30 days. Less than 30 days or less than 1 month is there for the examination. Andy hardly slept means Andy did not sleep at all. There are 2-3 reasons. One thing is that there was no space for Andy to sleep properly on the bed. The second reason is that Tubby was snoring. Andy turned this side and that side and he couldn't sleep at all. The next day, the same thing happened. What is the same thing? Andy had been playing in the bedroom and Andy had been playing in the dining room, and at last, at the midnight when he comes to the bedroom, Tubby will be spread out on the bed. Tubby will be snoring loudly, occupying the largest portion of the bed. As a result, there will not be space for Andy to sleep. And because of this loud snoring, he couldn't sleep the rest of the night. This happened 2-3 days. On the third day, Andy understood one thing. If he has to sleep well at night, he has to get into the bed first. If Tubby is the first one to get into the bed first, it will be sleepless night for Andy. During the daytime, Andy will be drowsy, sleepy, yawning. What is yawning? Oh, such an action. So during day, he cannot be fresh and smart and active. He cannot study anything. 2 days, he couldn't sleep at all. So the third day, Andy took a decision. If he has to sleep well, he has to get into the bed first. That night, as soon as his parents said, "It's bedtime, it's time to sleep," and he ran upstairs and jumped into the cot. He decided to sleep early. His parents couldn't believe their eyes. They couldn't believe what happens. During the night, normally, Andy will never sleep in time. His parents have to compel him, force him. It's time to sleep, go to bed. But today, the first instruction, as soon as hearing the first instruction, it's bedtime, Andy ran upstairs and got into the bed. His parents couldn't understand what happens. But we know what happened. What is the matter? If Andy does not get into the bed, who will get into the bed first? Tubby. There will not be space for Andy to sleep, and Tubby will be snoring throughout the night. This made Andy to take a decision to get into the bed first. Can you imagine where Tubby would have been sleeping that day? Maybe under the sofa, or in the porch, or on the top of the vehicle. You can imagine it and think about it, write about it. Take page number 36. Do the activities A, B, C yourself, and the remaining we will discuss during online class. I will send you the reading session also at the end of the video. Enjoy the day. Have a nice day. Let us continue reading. Page number 34, the last portion. Grandpa had said Tubby would help, said Andy's father. Hours later, Andy finally decided to go to bed. But what a surprise when he entered his bedroom. Tubby was spread out on Andy's bed. He was snoring away. Andy tried to shift Tubby, but he could not move him, not even an inch. That night, Andy hardly slept. Tubby pushed him into one corner of the bed. The next day, the same thing happened. Andy was tired and sleepy, yet he did not go to bed on time. On the third day, Andy thought that if he wanted to sleep in his bed, he would have to get into it before Tubby did. That night, as soon as his parents said, "Now it's bedtime," Andy ran upstairs and jumped into his bed. His parents could not believe it. They knew nothing about Tubby in the bed, so they did not understand why Andy went into bed on time. They were just happy. They were just happy about this. Can you guess where Tubby slept that night? Let us write page number 9 in the cursive writing book. As jolly as a buffoon. A-S as jolly, small j. Letters must be slanting. Buffoon, B-A. You see small f touches all the four lines. S, invisible. Invisible means not able to see. Invisible as the air. We know that we cannot see the air. As invisible as the air.